When life doesn't match the person, the righteous and wicked walk the same road. Ecclesiastes 9 verse 1 to 2. For all this I considered in my heart, even to declare all this, that the righteous and the wise and their works are in the hand of God. All things come alike to all. There is one event to the righteous and to the wicked, to the good and to the clean and to the unclean, to him that sacrificeth and to him that sacrificeth not. Welcome to Life is a Test. These are life lessons from King Solomon, part 63. Solomon spends much of Ecclesiastes wrestling with life's hardest questions. He searches for meaning in a world that often seems confusing and unfair. Scripture encourages us to seek wisdom, think deeply, and ask questions, but it also teaches that there are limits to human understanding. No matter how much we learn, some mysteries will remain beyond our reach. Why does life seem unfair at times? Why do dishonest people sometimes prosper while faithful people struggle? Why do some prayers seem unanswered while others appear instantly blessed? Many of us quietly wrestle with these questions. We look at our lives, compare them to others, and wonder if righteousness truly matters when outcomes do not always seem just. If we are honest, these thoughts can lead to frustration, discouragement, and even seasons of depression. This tension is not unique to Solomon. Throughout Scripture, even godly men wrestled with the seeming prosperity of the wicked. The prophet Jeremiah openly questioned God, asking why the ways of the wicked prospered and why those who dealt treacherously seemed at ease. He watched corrupt people flourish while those seeking righteousness suffered. And he struggled to reconcile what he saw with what he knew about God's justice. Likewise, Habakkuk cried out as violence and injustice spread around him, wondering why God appeared silent. Jeremiah and Habakkuk's questions did not come from unbelief, but from a sincere desire to understand what they could not reconcile. So their desire reminds us that faith does not require pretending life always makes sense. So Solomon eventually brings us to a difficult but necessary conclusion. There are limits to what we can know. No amount of analysis will allow us to fully understand God's purposes. Paul echoes this reality when he says in 1 Corinthians 13 verse 9 to 10, For we know in part, and we prophesy in part, but when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. There will always be things that remain hidden, and so we can conclude that much of our frustration comes from trying to solve questions God has not chosen to answer. We often misjudge both life and God by looking on appearances. When someone prospers, we assume they must be doing everything right. When someone suffers, we quietly wonder, what did they do wrong? Job's friends made that mistake. They looked at his suffering and concluded that hidden sin must be the cause. Yet, God rebuked them for speaking wrongly about him. Life does not operate according to simple formulas or immediate reward and punishment. God is accomplishing purposes that often reach beyond what we can see. This is why Solomon says that the righteous and the wise and their deeds are in the hand of God. The image of God's hand speaks of his care, his power, and his sovereign control. Our lives are not random, they are held by God. We may not understand every circumstance, but we are not abandoned to chance. God remains at work even when his purposes are hidden from us. Solomon then points us to the one event that comes to everyone: death. The righteous and the wicked, the wise and the foolish, the faithful and the faithless, all experience many of the same circumstances in life. Storms come to both, hardship visits both, blessings often come to both. As Jesus taught in St. Matthew 5 and verse 45, God sends rain on the just and the unjust. This means that circumstances alone cannot measure God's favor, His love, or His approval. Life will not always unfold in ways that make immediate sense. A hard-working employee may be overlooked while a manipulative co-worker advances. A praying parent may watch their child struggle while another family seems untouched by hardship. In moments like these, it's easy to wonder whether God sees what is happening. Solomon's answer is not found in having all the explanations. It is found in trusting God, who holds our lives in His hands. The fact that life appears uneven does not mean God has lost control. His purposes are larger than our perspective, and His justice is never absent simply because it is delayed. When we cannot understand what God is doing, we can still trust who He is. Faith rests not in having every answer, but in knowing that the one who governs our lives is wise, righteous, and good. He sees every act of faithfulness and judges all things in His perfect time. Have a blessed day with a great and mighty God.